Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in our gun world, but also our country and how we're going to fix both of them together. And the content that I'm going to do right now is my final prediction. While the polls are still open, it's about to close. We're about to go into election eve, which, by the way, make sure you watch the live stream here on this channel, Langley Outdoors, because we're going to have Military Arms Channel Tim here. We're going to have VSO Curtis here. We're going to have Katie from Stone Second Sense. It's going to be a blast. So make sure you tune in tonight around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. But what we're going to do right now is the pre-show to that, the pre-estimate. I'm about to tell you what I think is going to happen. And I need you guys to make sure you voted. Your friends, your family, everyone, yourselves. Because I think that we're on the cusp of a Trump win. And I'm going to walk you through all of it right now in a second. Walk you my reasons, all the things we've covered together. And I'm going to show you my map. But make sure you guys let me know what you think in the comments field below and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on so you know when we go live tonight, because that is going to be a party election stream. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait for you guys to be there. But let me get over to the map here, and I want to show you my entire map prediction. But before I do, I want to say two things. Make sure you vote. 80% of the population has already voted to the point of doing this stream, so I feel comfortable enough where I'm not going to muddy the waters. And then the second thing here, guys, you have to understand that if Trump wins, like I alluded to in the intro, Republicans and conservatives tend to go to sleep and breathe a sigh of relief and relax off of whatever the election was when they win. You have to take the football that they've pushed, and we've held the line on the 20-yard line on our side of freedom, and push it back even further freedom to their 20. You cannot sit there and say, oh, we won, the pressure's off. No, the time to grind is if you win, particularly if you get the House, the Senate, and the White House. I'm going to walk you through all of it in a second, but let me show you the map. There's kind of a range that I believe is going to happen, and then I'll show you my most likely. So this is all based off of a few of the polling things that we've covered. You've got the black vote, which is extremely small for where it has been in the past. You've got the union vote, same thing. Latin vote, same thing. I think I said union already. Yeah, union already. All the vote that they traditionally use from their demographic buckets is extremely small or low compared to what it normally is, particularly when you reference Biden. They're banking on the fact that white women come out for abortion and basically hand the presidency to Harris. That's what they're effectively hoping for on the Democrat side. Here's what I think is going to happen, though. If I go from the most important left, Pennsylvania, I think that Pennsylvania is going to tip red. Okay, and I'll share with you in a second why. I think North Carolina is red. I think Georgia is red. And I think Wisconsin is going to be tinge red. I think Michigan is going to go light blue. Arizona, red. Nevada, I think, is going to be a light blue. All right. In this scenario, and this is my most realistic expectation scenario, then I'll show you the two different scenarios here, because I do not believe Harris is going to win based on everything that I've seen. I could be wrong. I'm not Nostradamus. This is just my prediction. So 291 to 247 is probably going to be pretty close, at least in my estimation, of what you're going to see tonight. Now, let me walk you through why I think this is such a crucial point. Georgia is heavily leaning Republican in the polling. North Carolina is also leaning heavily Republican in the polling. They already pulled from the Harris campaign all the money in the ads in North Carolina, and they basically ceded the ground. North Carolina, I think, is going to go red, which puts all the pressure on Pennsylvania. Now, if Pennsylvania does what I think it's going to do, I think you're going to see a pretty sound victory for Trump. Not even close in Pennsylvania. Again, that's a very bold statement to say. It's based off the idea that early voting for Republicans and Democrats, the difference is 60% reduced on the Democrat side from 2020. Infer that from what you will. But you're talking about 600,000 fewer ballots that they had in 2024 versus 2020, while the Republicans are significantly increased. Okay, Democrats are going downward, Republicans are going upward, and Republicans are heavily favored on the day of voting versus Democrats. That's just fact and reality. I think that's going to factor in here. Now, let me walk you through if they are if they are completely wrong on their polling, per the New York Times video that we did, where they said that there's a 16% more likelihood of a Democrat to respond to the poll than a Republican. Well, if that happens, and even 1.5% is actually showing up underestimating Trump, it looks like this. Michigan goes red, Nevada goes red, and you get on the cusp of New Hampshire going red. Then you go 316 for Trump. That would be a bad thing for Harris and the Democrats. If everything is so askew and so screwed up and so off, we got a Republican in Virginia, you cap out at about 329 electoral votes. That's not likely, but that's kind of the worst case scenario for the Democrats. What I think you need to bring back into consideration is these to watch. Virginia will go light blue. New Hampshire, I think, could go red. I don't know. I'm just going to be safe and say light blue. Those are the ones you want to watch. New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina. If you see those things in Virginia and New Hampshire being very, very close, and Pennsylvania and North Carolina not trending for the Democrats, he's going to win. If you look over here towards Michigan, I think realistically that's more likely going to go light blue, simply because the Gretchen Whitmer Democrat machine, they have all three houses of power. Three silos of power. Let's just say it that way. You got the governor, you got the House, and you got the Senate. I think that that's going to be hard to overcome in Michigan. Again, that's just reality for me, in my opinion. I think Nevada is going to squeak out blue, just barely. And I think more likely you're going to see 291 Trump versus Democrats, 247. Now you got to get to the next part of this. If New Hampshire goes red, like we were talking about, you're talking about 295. That's close to popular vote territory. If Michigan flips over and we go red on Michigan, you're in landslide territory. I don't want to have that conversation about landslide. I'm just being objectively realistic. If that happens, you are looking at a tremendous, horrible thing for the Democrats, because that's what the map would look like, roughly, right? If you're at 316, the down ballot starts to come into play and they lose the House, they keep the Senate, or lose the Senate, goes red, lose the House, goes red, and they go to the White House. You got a trifecta of power. It is completely possible that if the polls are wrong by 1.5% and 2%, and I think they're underestimating Trump, you see a Trump victory that takes all houses of power. It's completely possible, but I don't know on that piece. That's my prediction, somewhere between 291 and 305, somewhere in that range, as I was just showing you guys. We're going to do a live stream tonight, and you guys can watch it unveil magically with the amazing company of Curtis from VSO, Tim from Military Arms Channel, Katie from Stone Second Sense, and yours truly. And I cannot wait to see you guys there. Let me know what you think of my prediction, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.